He had been here before. None of this was new. Down these winding hallways, down this black hole in the abyss. It would never stop. It knew everything. There was only one conclusion. It's not a delivery. It's a DiGiorno. I'm also now realizing I'm probably delirious from lack of oxygen. You warned me. Can't say you didn't warn me. That is so creepy. Swimming downward and seeing arrows pointing up. And because you're in that situation of, obviously holding your breath and not having air, seeing the obvious and having that indicate that someone was down here and says you should turn back definitely heightens the tension. But then seeing those arrows growing more tense and dense and desperate as you go, that is horrifying. That is such a cool idea. All right, this way, this way, this way. And then when you finally get there, it's the kind of thing that, well, if you know, you know. Otherwise, there's no threat. This comes out right back here in the void. There's no way this was here before. I would have noticed it. But once more, it's like having some kind of mental episode. It's like we just stumble back in, sit down, and don't even acknowledge that it even happened. It's like it didn't happen. Given where this comes out to, I must have left and come back. I don't think I've been up these stairs. Have I? No. Nope, this is all new. I'm still finding stuff. The projector room. These are all different reels. And we can pick them up. Maybe we actually can use them. Wait. Oh. Yeah, look at this. Can we use what's on the table here? I wouldn't even know where to load it up. I mean, I can throw stuff uselessly through it. Would be on the other side of this wheel here. I can't really see what's going on. What about the others? Locked. Here we are. Piano itself, I completely glossed over this earlier. But look at that, it's like you're playing with your back to an imaginary audience. Or maybe you are the player and the audience. Just a second ago, that light was on. This still won't open, right? Right. We're encountering the familiar more and more often, but I still feel like there's something major that I'm missing. Alright, are we finally ready to try this door over here? Right now, I can't think of anything else. You said this one actually leads somewhere. For example, to more exit. I'm investigating something. Conference room. Is snubbing its offer to move through there not a good thing right now? Is that bad manners? It certainly feels like it. Oops. The hotel has grown a second floor. An elevator hall suddenly appeared where several ATMs were just the other day. A working elevator this time, to note. No buttons, no controls. Step in, it goes. Step out, it closes. Lead to even more halls. blue and white heading in opposite directions. Ignored the white, followed the blue around onto some sort of exhibition space, like an art gala without the gala, like I'd missed the show, not by an hour, but a week. Got a strange feeling and continued on. There's another hall opposite the gallery. Looked to have a handful of doors numbered 1 through 3. Have to return later after I finish documenting previous areas again. These patrols take longer and longer. I fear they're about to grow again. Something is wrong. This isn't right. This is home. Not the room. My home. My childhood home is here. How is it here? How did they... Number 3. And live here. It's my home here. The structure taking my home, twisting it, holding it over my head, trying to lure me in. I won't. It's not real. 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 I can't handle this. Here we are. It did start to know you. Or it already did. Alright. Let's take that offer, see where it goes then. You tell us about something that's changed, and it does. I know, or I realized a while ago that I'm not just missing things, that things really aren't there the first pass through, that this map really is screwing with me. It's just a lot more subtle than some of the previous ones. A second floor has appeared in the hotel is what you say. Wait. Did I ever continue down this hall? I don't think I ever did. I think I've left it all this time. Because I certainly don't remember following it this far. Ugh. The ground is so uneven. As is the mind of the architect. So I guess it's fitting. Oof. Wait. Oh, it's not a lever to be pulled, it's a lever just sitting here. I'm gonna leave you here until we can find something we can actually use you with, if there is to be anything. As it stands, it seems to have been a prank. Oh, never mind. Not a prank at all. Alright. You're up. Got that flashlight bug now, but shouldn't be an issue. Well, it seems we've experienced a house shift in our favor. It's like we walk in here and we see this space as like a hotel room, and so we immediately recognize this texture as like a carpet with a pattern. But as it transitions into this, if you were to show me this in like a vacuum, I would not think of it as anything other than rock. But it's the same texture. That is so weird and cool. Hello? I love this song, and I love your show, Mr. Door. Actually, it kind of feels like you might have something to do with this. I was actually just thinking, because I'm kind of at a loss now, because of the typewriter, maybe I should try touching this? Oh my god, yes, it was something! Oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that. No way. No way! Okay, I don't care if I get content struck for this. This is so... No way! I thought you weren't playing the song because of this. Look. Look. Wait, there's stairs behind here. Yes! Oh no, maybe I have to wait. Maybe I have to wait. Come on. Yes! Poets of the Fall, favorite. Let's go. Or sorry, not Poets of the Fall, the Old Gods of Asgard, of course. What was I thinking? I can never remember. It's like they're the same in my mind. But then again, all this definitely reminds me of the style of my favorite director, Thomas Zane. Or was he a poet? Oh. Look at this artificial interior. We're running right through it. Yes! I am absolutely giddy with joy. I'm gonna get a move on in case I have to do this in silence and it's just awkward. This is so cool. I love this. Let's go. It faded out on the best part. Well, that's on me. It's like the dying dream you'd have while drowning in Sam Lake. Ooh, that's gonna be a doozy. Yeah, I don't think I'm taking that way down right now. Mood counter state. Wait, hello? Start spooky sound. Downer playlist fired, upper playlist fired. We found the control room. We found the DJ's booth. And we actually got here just by exploring the map. It didn't require no clip or anything. Look at that. It actually has like a scoring system. The triggers on this must be like super complicated. The poetry across the wall right in there with what seems like commands for the buttons. This map is playing in even more ways. Start spooky sound. What's spooky sound? Come on. Ooh, that sure is a spooky sound. Somebody was watching me from one of those windows. Could I have seen them? Did I see them? I don't know, but you sure see me. No doubt whoever had the camera following me outside the elevator. My God, I thought that was a face. Okay, I'm not welcome. I got it. That was meta. You allowed me for a second to believe that that was the control room for the map, like an admin room. And you actually did the job of turning the admin into a godlike, mysterious figure. We're back in the theater. I recognize this instantly. So how did we reach that gala again? It's the only thing left I can think of. We've opened just about every door we've come across. I can't find you. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, right there. It may have just blended in among the stars. I just didn't register it. I don't feel comfy being out here, even if I did trigger the spooky noise. Actually, yep. Yep. The second floor. We've got choices to make. And some of them seem quite familiar. A long, long way with no doors. There it is, the gallery. And maybe a way out. Huh? Oh my god! Hey.
Hi, I'm Dylan, the creator of this map.
Hi!
This is my gallery. It's not quite as lavish as the After Hours one, but what can you do? If you need anything, feel free to come and get me. I can offer some insight on certain pieces here in the gallery. I'll just be over here. Enjoy the gallery.
That is so cool. You actually have an NPC insert of yourself to have me look at this stuff. And I imagine all this is probably your film photography, right? These have been such a huge part of all your other maps. And it goes, like you have an eye for this stuff. And, it's been really cool to see how this translates into your map design. You are insane, and each of these projects has been more ambitious than the last, and I gotta say, this is probably your best work. Look at you just staring at me from back there. Well, we've finally done it. We made our way to you. We followed your clues, we triggered your triggers, and now we're here. Wait, What if I come over to you?
Yep, come get me if you need anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right behind you.
Oh, I see. I have to actually get you. I have to come get you and say, hey, can you show me this over here? That is awesome. I'm probably not going to do the commentary for all these. I'll leave that for you to try if you want to try this. But we got to at least test this feature out, right?
This photo has a fun story behind the camera that took it. A Contax 2A rangefinder, which I sent to a gent in Slovakia for repairs. On its way back, the Postal Service ended up holding the thing hostage for nearly 4 months before sending it back. Finally got it back, and soon after I put a test roll through it, which this shot comes from. In addition, I was also testing my new wider lens, which is unbelievably sharp.
This is so cool. See, this is something that I really appreciate in stuff like this. I always love hearing about the technical details of how these things are done. I mean, for a while, I was a photography gearhead, but I was always more in the digital world. This, film requires a whole other level of knowledge, and, as I've spoken with the creator about, actually pretty recently, things like this, everything gets held up in, shipping and transit and just trying to come up with all these weird DIY fixes. And it makes me appreciate it so much the more I hear about it.
This is another shot from my Mamiya C330, this time with a red.
Ooh, you're a Mamiya shooter.
Contrast. I remember loving the soft light from above due to the clearing we were in, paired with that curved path heading back into the darker woods. Makes for a fairly competent photograph.
Even if there was a map that was literally just this, I would be pretty impressed by it. But we've got to move on right now. Look at all this different stages of the gallery. Only thing, I certainly haven't missed the gala. We've got our guide right here. It's just a private tour. We don't have time to listen to everything, but I can definitely stop and appreciate. And I just love seeing how these things come across, I think it's being able to appreciate things like lighting and architecture and just the lines that make up an environment and the way that subtly influences your enjoyment or other emotions that come across as a result of them. That's a skill that, I wouldn't have thought of this, but it makes so much sense that it would translate into map design. Some of these we've seen in the previous ones. In fact, we've walked through some of these places. Oh, look at that. Absolutely saturated with graffiti. But I guess the moving company is bringing in precious memories to adorn these walls even further. So many liminal spaces in real life. It only makes sense that an explorer of them would be able to bring us this. Also, before I move on from here, I'm gonna have to give my obligatory kitty. Hi, kitty. Uh-huh. Alright. We still have the other way to go. Nope. You were there, so this is this way. No, not yet, elevator. I'm not done here. It's so weird encountering that stuff, not even at the end of the map. Like, the sort of meta art gallery and even the control room are actually part of the Explorer. I don't know if I've ever seen that done before. But hey, I guess there's coffee and food at the end. A reward for all that walking we've done. We're in the office spaces now. Is that soundtrack? Is that soundtrack, or is reality finally crumbling? I have finally reached the universe's door opening limit. It's like there was some kind of event here and they just never finished tearing it all down. Alright, door probably comes out around the other side of this. A row of payphones. It's like each of these stools is waiting for a call that'll never come. Back here in the projection rooms. Okay. It's so weird how there are so many walls and just invisible places that open up as you go. And yet some doors connecting to those places were always here. My throat's starting to get a little bit hoarse. We've been doing 3 marathon maps, actually 4 absolute marathons of GMOD maps in a row after they were trending shorter for so much time. But you know, there is value in looking at some of the photography before exploring parts of the map, because then we can kind of see where the inspiration came from. God is dead. Framed up perfectly, and you know, there's something about that exact hue of yellow that actually makes me think of Bendy and the Ink Machine. Whoever decided that they were going to paint over this had an uphill battle. You again. I'm just getting closer, waiting to hear the chime. We did hear the chime down underwater. That's the worst part. By having it be in that flooded area beneath the movie theater, unconnected to anything else, it almost makes it feel like you're something that attaches itself to this map. Oh, hey, we're back here. Cool. Neato. Neato Spinito. What about down here? Did that ever come to anything? Oh, well, this took a while to pay off, but we finally found out what it was all about. A jump scare, like half an hour in the making. Let's get back up and hope that opening in the void is still there. Yep. I think now we've probably seen everything. I think so. See, this is normally where I'd begin my no-clip run, but doing a no-clip run while there are still things to be found tends to cause a lot of things to break. So let's see what we can see. Oh, right, I'd completely forgotten about all this. Okay, let's go, let's go. There is so... This has to be one of the biggest maps I've ever explored. This might end up being the longest explore on the channel. And I really was not expecting that. Okay, nothing behind door number 1. Number 3, bizarrely placed in the center, does onto a dark and creepy hallway. The seal's very familiar. 2 is locked. So, starting at the end, like all good trilogies do. Two very different types of door here. What is this? Is this the childhood home? And nothing but concrete walls on the outside, like it was built for you as a habitat by something that just wanted to keep you placated. The fire burning. It looks like something from decades past, like from the 70s or 80s or something. E6, 3-bath cheat sheet. Pour first developer in agitate every 15 seconds for 630. Pour color developer in agitate every 15... Oh my god, please note, this is a gross oversimplification of the E6 reversal process and should not be taken as actual instructions. Do not mix chems, as they will likely destroy each other, and God knows when E6 chems are going to be in stock. Please unicolor my kingdom for a gallon of E6. I bet this really is modeled after your childhood home, including your attempts to do bathroom photo developing. Oh, this is deeply personal. Wait, let's see if we can actually do this, because there is a whole thing here. So, agitate every 15 seconds for 630, so 6.5 minutes, I guess. I'm assuming you don't have to do all that, but this all wouldn't be here if you couldn't actually do it, right? Hang on. We can pick... That sounds encouraging. Then color dev. Then Blix. Bleach plus spit, come on. Can I have, please? Thank you. So that's those 3 things. Now it just says hang film to dry. Yeah, this really is a simplified process. I'm assuming that rack is where we... Look at that! It's the box from out in the hall! Oh, we can actually see the whole reel of film. That is so cool. That is such a cool way to make this interactive. Nice place, too. God, it is just incredible the amount that you put into this. I wasn't following myself. I was following you until you became the lord of this place. Wait, really? A hallway back here through the kitchen. That's nuts. It's even worse. Each hallway leads to a snapshot of somewhere I've lived. Childhood home, places with my wife. Too personal. How does it know? It's taunting me now. It knows I can't leave. It won't let me leave. And the concrete tendrils, they're choking my houses, my homes. A thin, cancerous growth plastered on every exterior, growing and spreading and consuming. I'm not going back. Keep it together. Have to focus. 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 More rooms are coming up. The construction area near the unfinished apartment. It keeps changing when I'm not looking. Making and destroying entrances and exits. Shifting and changing behind my back. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is escape. Need to escape. A dark, dark door. Opened by the structure. I'm afraid to cross it. Those concrete tendrils wrapping around everything you've known. Just a maze beyond. Oh. I just picked a direction and started running. How can there be so much to this map? Looking in on other homes. Wait! Looking in on other homes! Like this exists for anyone who could come here. Maybe wraps around everywhere. A coil around reality itself. And this feels, as an extension, like such an intrusion. Like I shouldn't be here. I don't even know whose this is. But wait. I swear I just heard something. I thought this map was done, and I had not even seen the half of it. All this after the gallery. It's snowing up and down in this one little pillar. Wait. Come on now. There was more. And back onto more. You never know which door was really there and which is an invention to enable access by something. Maybe these doors do have an equivalent in our reality, we just can't see them. Oh no. In moments like this, I just can't stop running. Wrapping and weaving, it's not any kind of logical path. It's like these concrete barriers, they just are and will always end up at the doors. No way. Philip Jeffries! I should have known you were behind this, and behind me also simultaneously. You know what? Follow me in here. I promise I won't close the doors behind us, or use this as a convenient escape, because it turns out there's actually a lot in here. Somebody else's house. It's almost like when a place is demolished, when a place is no more, or even when someone isn't there anymore to perceive it, this place keeps it safe somewhere. A collection of memories and everything within, all stored safe in a pocket dimension. At least I can't help but feel that that's what this is. Doorways through the closets. It's about what they represent, not necessarily what they were, I suppose. Oh, I can't wait for the no-clip run of this one. But I've certainly had to pick up the pace here. Something I've started to talk about more and more is how, in having like references to me in these maps, in these videos, you know, it's actually kind of weird because unintentionally, I guess I've sort of built up a lore where certain images are associated with liminality, and that's just kind of happened naturally over time. It's a very strange feeling. But I always think about what it's like, what these Easter eggs are like for somebody who doesn't know who I am, because that'll be the case for most people who play these, probably. And I've started to realize that, you know, it's completely independent of me now. You don't need to know about, you know, whichever like liminal gallery video introduced Philip Jeffries in order to know that it's an image, a figure that appears in a lot of these. In a way, it's almost like the pink sun of Pink Black. It's just kind of part of the association now. All right. I think I'm probably going to be able to head back and open those other doors now. What is this? Horror baby, this is where you fell from. Huh. Well, it's not quite heaven, but it's close. I'm gonna head back. I think that maybe things have opened up. You said the construction site was opening up. Let's have a look. Oh, another one of you just fell down. Cool. Okay, they're multiplying as expected. That's good. You guys keep that up. Oh, it feels like so long ago that I was here. Blood on the ground. I don't think I even noticed that before. I did notice the handprint, though. I made it all the way back here. I guess I didn't open this door. Hey, a car and a garage. And another door. I figured. I figured as much. Something had to bring me back here. What about this? Straight down to here. This whole area is self-contained. But now I don't know what to do. Oh, look at this! Whoa! It actually elevates me up. Ooh. And that is a really weird feeling, but oddly pleasant. Like I can feel myself being lifted, becoming weightless. You know, we never did see what was down here. This was one of the only doors we haven't seen open. It's still locked, so there's still something we're missing. Oh god, the no-clip run of this is gonna be nuts. My god, that's okay. I had forgotten that there was a mirror here. Alright, at this point I'm just doing kind of whatever I can think of. I haven't thought to do this yet. Ow. I mean, who would, right? Darwin, you and your chicanery. Stop this at once. So I'm actually speaking with Dylan literally right now, and he pointed out this X on the floor. Oh, wait. Was it? I'm not sure. Hang on. That's locked, but that's got to be the other side of that door, right? Hang on. I don't think... Wait. Have I been here? Things are... strange. Yeah. Wait. What if I jump through here? I can't. Wait. Wait. No. Wait. What? No, hey, hang on. No, you're playing with me. You're playing with me. You're playing with me. Now you open. Something's happened. Something's changed. Oh, my... Wait, I heard footsteps running away that time. That wasn't that way before, and that wasn't open before. I've been back through here a few times. Hang on. Look at this, a dark, windowless house. Looks like it could be a cozy grandma's house. And yet totally vacant. Great. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, here's where a shenanigan will occur. Where a shenanigan has occurred. Well, I teed myself up for that one, didn't I? I always do. Oh, I always do. Both of these rooms are... Wait. We turn around and suddenly it's the same carpet, but it's like the construction site, like the inevitable fate of every abandoned place. This whole map really does just feel like, I don't know, a eulogy for places that are no longer with us. Great. Yep. Oh no, what's happening here? We should logically have hit many dead ends by now. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe we have, and I just don't know it. No. Here's... This is just a panicked run now. Here. Back to safety. I think. Sort of. Maybe. And just like that, it's gone. I think I need to come back over here. I must have missed it on the way out. This most certainly was not here before. It feels like after all this, after all the times I thought we were done, we've actually discovered the well that all this comes from. Wait. Endless black. So dark. More and more concrete, swirling and spiraling downward. A downward spiral staircase winding further and further into the inky black below. Concrete stretching in narrow, choking corridors, looping around and around and around in the dark. Why is this here? So different to the structure, colliding with it, attacking it? An infection, a parasite. Have to form a plan. The enemy of my enemy is at best a temporary ally, another beast to contain. What else is there to find here? What do you want me to see? There is something glowing, pulsating in the dark, a shape I couldn't tear away from. This must be the key. I know there must be more. We're so many periods of silence where we don't hear from our writer for a long time. But every time we come back, they're a little worse off, and honestly, so are we. To be fair, I think what was holding me up was the fact that I did return to the construction site when prompted by the note, but I had forgotten that there was another side that wasn't actually, directly connected. I guess I had remembered it as them being further apart, but you know what's really strange? I remember that as being a week ago. That's how my brain has categorized that information, and I have been recording for a very long time. In fact, I may even have to split this into parts. But that's something to worry about after we see what's at the bottom of the well. Tell you what, maybe we follow the cables? Never mind, easier said than done. Oh no. Straight from one maze into another. Okay, maybe that's not a thing. But it only ever goes in one direction. That's the That's the thing. You guys know how I feel about interior windows. Doesn't seem like we can climb through. Oh no, we're so close. We are so close. I can just feel it. But I think I've been playing for too long because I am entirely too comfortable sprinting headlong into the dark, a dark which descends even deeper. Oh no. Is there some exploit I'm not aware of? Because I feel like all the last bunch of maps I've played shouldn't be possible by my understanding of Hammer. Well, at least we've got some light in here. Three shapes in three corners. A cylinder, a triangle, a cube. So in other words, square, circle, triangle. We've just got to keep running, then we've just got to find what we're after. Yes. And look. These artifacts, they have that same thing. That same texture that we saw in the beginning and outside the children's room, and only those times. It's important, I know it. There were more. 3 total. Find the center, take them there. You will know where unseen aid will come from above. Horror baby? Embrace it. This is a goodbye. An escape. A promise. Back to the beginning. Do it again and again and again and again, looping and looping and looping and looping and looping and looping and looping. Downward. No bottom. Need a way out now. You did it. You actually did it, but it may not have been the victory that you hoped. Okay, these have to go back to the center. That's what we know. And I get that there's probably 2 more. Straight into here. Maybe. Yes. Yes, you acknowledged it. All right. Is there... Was someone just here? It didn't short out, which means that someone must have hit the switch. Are you still here? I mean, it depends on who you are. Is it a previous loop of me? Is it you, the creator, Dylan? Well, we met you upstairs, but hey, it is a loop, is it not? Anything's possible in a loop. It's so cool. I can definitely feel the Remedyverse inspiration all over this, but why am I analyzing? I'm terrified. Let's go. There's different boxes. It's all a concrete prison, but it kind of takes the shape of like a train station or a bus stop. And we've got to search everywhere to make sure we find what we're looking for. And another terrible thought is, what if down here decides to play the same games as some of the upper places? I'd never find my way. Okay, boxes mean I haven't been here. I keep thinking that in the distance I'll see something moving away. No way. After all this time, okay, but this is not what I'm looking for, though. We're all in. It's like it's offering one last chance at comfort. Go back up, keep exploring. You talked about how cozy you found it. But no. In for a penny, in for a pound. There's another power box back here, meaning the stuff further back from where we entered still counts. We want the lights on wherever possible, but we also know we're being messed with. My instinct is to follow these things. Have we seen this before? How should I know? There is a gap beyond here that leads us back. Arrows on the ground, and... Well, that was a horrifying sinking feeling. Why, thank you. You see what a little bit of kindness from the map itself can accomplish? Great things, guys, great things. One more. Now we're just looking for a cube. There's always a cube. Let's go. It was you all along. You just keep popping up in the strangest of places! Okay, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. Let's maybe head back. And oh god. Was it even me who turned on the lights in that area? I think I sort of know where I'm going. Yes, I recognize this turn. We're not even gonna bother to put the power back on again. We're just gonna head down. Am I still holding you? Good. It's not always clear. You don't need power to function. You're magic after all. Oop. You lost one of your guys. You lost one of your guys. Oh, we can't follow you down, it seems. A triangle like before. That flooded pit. Just like in the stairwell. Whoa. Ow, bonk. That actually dizzied me a bit. Ugh. There's more. Oh, I think we've finally done it. I think we've reached the end. This was a saga. Wow. I think this is our eternal reward. Only a loop if we choose for it to be. Oh, look, it's the statue of GM Floating Isles. Among others. These are miniatures of several buildings from my previous maps, After Hours, Floating Isles, and places from film. Some structures are based on real-life locations, while others are abstract improvisations. Each model has a small placard with more information about that particular structure, so be sure to check them all out. Look at this. Ooh, I remember this one quite well. This building comes from After Hours, and is a common haunt for my night photography trips. The neon signage in the windows with a palm tree and nice magentas makes for an excellent shot. I mean, scenes like this where you get to play with lighting, those really are the most fun. It was among the first building added to GM After Hours, and served as a focal point for the infinitely looping main street that it sat on. In reality, the building isn't quite as long as depicted, but it's shockingly not far off. Some great music here, too. Dude, after all this time, after so much, this really feels like a reward, and all in all, I think what I like the most about it is how it's a very different take on liminality, to the point where it almost doesn't feel right to call it that. What this feels like more is like an eerie dream about a childhood home. I mean, We literally got to see that in action in this case, but every space in this game, even the ones that aren't necessarily relatable and are more abstract, still had that feeling. It's a great way to make everything feel like one cohesive whole rather than more of an abstract art gallery. Which is hilarious because this actually includes, in several forms, real art galleries. Another building from After Hours. This is actually a crude approximation of my childhood home, which also features in this map via its interior as Door 1. Fairly typical early 1900s bungalow for the Midwest US. My room was on the second floor, a dormer that jutted from the roof, but with a high-lipped window that my short self couldn't see out. In GM After Hours, my room can be seen on the rotating cameras or with the floating body that slumps out of sight once you notice it. That adds so much context to that scare. It's literally you. You are always watching us, even across maps. One of the larger set pieces from Places from Film, this is a very crude recreation of an office building with a very interesting design. In real life, it has a fairly minimalistic look that is very reminiscent of Mirror's Edge, with a pale white walls and bright yellow accents coupled with a bizarre angular geometry. This build was another early one, being part of the first phase of my work on Places from Film, and its roughness definitely shows that. The eponymous floating aisle of GM Floating Aisles. This is the base geometry you start on when beginning the map. Originally created as a test of stitching several displacements together to form cliffs, as well as playing around with water in the 3D skybox. The island grew rather rapidly. Initially, I wanted this to be a part of the brutalist mapping competition, but due to a work trip and general exhaustion, it got sidelined. To make up for it, I just let the map lead me as I made it, becoming larger and larger. You know, I don't have anywhere near the skills with Hammer as you do. Everything would take me so friggin' long to even do like one room of what you've done here. But I have found that that's the case, that it is really fun, almost therapeutic, to just make a base, a skeleton for a map, and just see where it takes you. It's like an art piece you just keep adding more and more onto. The final building from GM After Hours. This is a terribly scaled recreation of the Washington Street apartments in downtown Royal Oak, which is another commonly seen subject of my night photography. It also features in my very first map, Photography Gallery. The reason it appears in GM After Hours is actually due to my belief that Photography Gallery was completely unfixable, although I was able to finally compile and upload it successfully following the release of Floating Isles, so that was a recent rescue. That is so cool. I just can't believe how quickly you work. Macy State Psychiatric Center was like 2 years on and off in the making. Meanwhile, in the past year, you have released everything that you have. This is like, what, your 4th map that I've explored on this channel? Welcome to the end. You've made it to the museum at the end of the map. Congrats! As per usual, you'll find some miniatures for a few of the set pieces of this map ahead. When you've seen all you want to, proceed through the door at the far end. Literally me, Lamau. My beautiful wife. Now, see, in the beginning, I believed I was following myself, but actually all the evidence we need to go against that is right here, because as we look around, you'll see that this is not my beautiful house, and this is not my beautiful wife. So let's see what's around the corner. Gray halls. I always have to put at least one concrete maze into every map, and this is no exception. This one has a twist in the form of the puzzle you have to solve to get here. I wanted to dabble with some light gameplay this time. There's something inherently eerie about a dark, seemingly nonsensical concrete structure that's always fun to exploit for a little extra tension. Being able to see it from above, it all seems so small, but of course, okay, I have to know how and why you came up with this. I might have been playing a little too much Alan Wake 2 during the process of making GM Floating Isles, and this map as well. It's like a little bit of the lake ended up here, Lamau. Oh god, this would result in such a feedback loop if you were to make this in that area. If you've never played Alan Wake 2, play it for sure. The combat might be a bit bad, but wow, it is so worth it. I don't even agree, I like it. Honestly, one of the most engrossing stories I've played in a long time, and this moment is a pale imitation of the real thing. No, seriously, I can vouch for that. Play it. It is incredible storytelling and narrative, and it's so meta in all the right ways. The Remedyverse is an incredible thing. Play Control, too. Projector model. This fantastic-looking model was made by Chrome Angel specifically for this map. After seeing my very sad brushwork, they whipped up this absolute banger of a 35mm projector. I've also included my very poor attempt to make a 35mm projector to compare and contrast, though it's very much a contrast. Thanks once again to Chrome Angel from the Librarian Discord. Oh wow, it was somebody from the Discord. You're an absolute legend. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You know, I was actually looking at this thing before when I was trying to see if we could use the film reels, and I thought, like, this is a really good-looking model. What is it from? Thanks again. Thank you all so much for giving my maps a shot. It's always been a dream of mine to make things for one of my favorite games of all time. I hope this one was enjoyable as some of my previous ones, despite its differences. Extra special thanks to the Librarian, Massive Inspiration, Binyo, When Corrupt or Binyot, Chrome Angel, thank you for the testing, Stop Motion NY6, absolute stand-up lad, yes, very active on the Discord, and the creator of Unguard, Delete from Whip3, thanks for the catch, Kifsesk, Kisk from Whip2, another great suggestion, and you, the player. And you know, I believe this map actually has blown up more than their other maps, and I'm really glad. I really feel like things like this deserve the recognition. I have another map in the works that may interest those of you who like vaguely Urbex-themed ones. It's a recreation of the now demolished Kmart HQ called GM Fort Crestja. A work-in-progress version is available right now on the workshop. So cool. You know, I actually Urbexed the last Kmart in my area in Bridgehampton. You can see that on the channel. 3 unused Urbex footage things. I call it Urbex. It was literally an active Kmart, but you get the idea. Oh, I've been so curious about this. The grid view of the map, look. Oh my, look at this spaghetti. We haven't even done our no-clip run yet. That's just what this just made me realize. All the compiling data. So very close to simply not working at all. Compiler logs. You know, I gotta name and shame myself with the compile logs, so here it is. This is the closest log I've got to the release you're currently playing on. For those of you who are unfamiliar, a block zone weight, where was I going with this? Oh right, water indices are used by both water brushes in a map, as well as joints between world geometry and Func detail brushes. It's a rough measure of how many of these joints occur, and I've certainly pushed the envelope a tiny bit with this one. Well, tell you what, you're a lot more optimized than I was, because I completely broke Macy's state many times with this very issue. That was when all the window and door frames were just Func details. Hammer viewport. Yes, it's as terrible to navigate as it seems. And no, I almost never know where exactly I have to go to find things in this maze. Also, the Cordone tool is for quitters and children, and I'm totally not lazy and refuse to use it because it takes a small amount of effort to set up and turn on. It's like training with a weight belt. Maybe. Everything I hear from you just gets more and more relatable in my limited experience, and that is why I appreciate these details so much. I actually kind of like how this looks laid out here in the museum. Much more aesthetically pleasing than the GM After Hours one. It's beautifully horrendous. But I guess you could say that for all of the Source Engine, huh? There is a door in the back. Oh, look at this. It's a model of a whole complex. Global Kmart HQ. It's a preview of what's coming. Sick. Demolished in early 2024. The former Kmart HQ was a striking and bizarre-looking derelict building that at one time was the base of operations for thousands of people. Following the merger of Kmart and Sears, the headquarters was moved to Chicago, while the Kreska building limped on as a massive IT department. The building was shuttered in 2006, and from then until 2024 it sat abandoned. The building is divided into nodes with office space within, connected at corners by towers housing elevators, stairs, environmental and electrical systems. Several spines radiate outward from the central atrium, as well to provide more direct access to the farther offices. The building also has between 1 and 4 floors per office node, as well as some basement tunnels. Unfortunately, since the building was first constructed in the 70s, and its peak was sometime before the 90s, there aren't many images of the inside while it was still occupied, making recreation difficult. My efforts so far had given me a pretty accurate-to-scale recreation of the node and tower structures, but attempting to fill those has proven fairly difficult. Certain areas have next to no documentation, and Urbex videos can only provide so much information. My plan is to focus my efforts on this map for a while after finishing GM Indoor Spaces, potentially improvising reasonable interiors for unknown areas. Who knows? A map like this could be good for Trouble in Terrace Town. This is so cool. You're trying something really different, but still really ambitious and cool. And a little memorial to something that, the weirdos of the world like us found interesting. There it is, the sad remains of its final days. Okay, let's see what's beyond that door. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about here right now. Okay, yep, nope. Shenanigans. I should have known shenanigans. I knew this wasn't right. And the loop begins anew. But as you said, it is now effectively as if the map were in adventure mode. Years and years, I never divided a map into parts, and I think I'm going to have to with this one. And that comes right after I had to do that with Complex and Pitfalls, but that was still technically 2 maps. This one? It immediately kind of turns that from a fluke into a trend. But hey, I guess that just means I can count this as 2 uploads, right? It was just so much fun. Even though this might be the longest time I've spent recording a single map, it really didn't feel like it. Because there was just always something pushing me along, always mystery, always intrigue. This has been an absolute doozy of a record session, and I almost forgot to do the no-clip run. In fact, I'm recording this a little after the fact. But it just wouldn't be fair to withhold that after all this time, especially since I brought it up so much. This was a really winding one, and I'm curious to see how it fits together, because I was always caught off guard with how far we ended up being from certain things when we loop back in. So, let's get as far back as we can. Whoa. I mean, it's weird. This thing feels sort of small at first, and then as you explore and open things up, it starts to feel huge in scope, and then it kind of mentally shrinks down again as you start to make all these connections, as these things start opening up. Like you feel like you're a million miles away from where you started, when this little green door down here brings you right back to the beginning. But yeah, definitely making super efficient use of the space here, and I honestly have no idea how this works with, phasing you in and out of different changing areas. This thing plays with you so much. And it's really cool, the idea that it actually introduces this story by having you read about these things first and then showing you the changes. So it's cool how the notes give you hints at where you're supposed to go next. Following, I guess, in your own footsteps. Right up here, something I didn't even acknowledge when I first recorded, the mood counter state that is so similar to the LSD dream emulator system, except instead of like the upper and downer dreams, in this case it's using it to dictate the soundtrack, which was pretty well composed all throughout. Look at this, all this, just right there the whole time. This is really cool. I don't think that should give me copyright issues because it is from a game. I've literally had it on the channel before. But it's all just so stacked and layered. Ooh. I wonder if this would even work at all if I weren't running the 64-bit version. That's the thing, there's even places that we can't see in this no-clip run because they're completely dark. We can only see them in contrast with the rest of it. This whole thing is just incredibly impressive. And it was a huge amount of fun, both as an original work and an homage to the Remedyverse in some ways. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. You know what would be a good ending to this? If I saw myself walking by and getting jump scared by that car, and I turn off the alarm by pressing a key that was left on the windowsill.